And the very first woman to come up to share her story will be Kryshonna Fair of Yours Professional.
I'm nervous right now. You got to give me my Beyonce. We ready, y'all. So I want to start with, first off, telling y'all I ain't sorry. All right? But let's go ahead and start by addressing the elephant in the room. If any of you guys were looking for Dr. Maya Angelou, I want to go ahead and let y'all know to be disappointed now, because I am not her. I am Kryshonna Michelle, and like they said, I'm the owner of Yours Professional. But like any good story, I'm going to start by, let's just drop some trauma bombs, all right? So before we get started, though, I do feel like we do need to take in a couple of deep breaths, because, you know, it's a lot when you're taking in everybody's trauma. So before we get started, let's take in a deep breath and exhale. All right, so we're going to start out strong. First out the gate, when you ask who is Kryshonna Michelle, well, I am the product of a grown married man and a teenage girl. That's right, you guys. I am the affair baby. So when you ask people, should I be here? Depends on who you ask. Ask my mama, ask my daddy. Second out the gate, I am the second born. So with that being said, everything I'm about to say up here, my mama is not surprised, y'all. She knew I was going to be the one. And if you got a second born child, you know we were sent here to test your heart. All right, next up, I am the granddaughter of a bipolar, manic depressive, schizophrenic woman. That's right, I am Cheryl, the girl's granddaughter. And I know for a fact that my life was way more entertaining than yours, because who else in here called their granny Cheryl the girl? Okay, just me, right? All right. Next, I am the girl who got pregnant in high school. And you know what I did, y'all? I ran away. And not only did I get pregnant in high school, what did I do? I went out and got 2 more kids with 2 other men. Because what does the old saying goes? If you don't get it right, you do what? Try, and try again. Because who's staying with a man just because she had a baby? Not me. I am also the girl who grew up with not 1, not 2, not 3, maybe 4-ish different daddies. Because what do we say? When you do not get it right, you do what? You try, and you try again. All right, on top of that, let's see. Kanye West called himself the college dropout. Baby, he should have called me the epitome of the college dropout. How many times did I drop out of school? What did I tell you? 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank God for esthetician school only being 7 months, because that was going to be a no-go for me too. All right, and let's see. I did run away from home, like I said, at the age of 18. And 18 years ago, I ran to Knoxville, Tennessee. And if you know me, y'all, I'm a talker, right? So imagine me praying. So in the middle of my prayer, I know God was like, Sean, I want you to go left. But I was in the middle of talking, and I was like, left, you meant right? You know, Knoxville, Kryshonna. I really think at this point, he really meant Nashville. And I just wasn't listening good enough. All right? Next up, and this one right here is still the hardest for me to deal with, but I am also, like I told y'all, I'm Cheryl, the girl's granddaughter. I'm also the second born. I am the big stepper of my siblings, okay? I've never let anybody touch my siblings, but I'm the girl who brother drove 5 hours just to be at his daughter's birthday party, to be murdered in front of his children and all of my children, and couldn't save them. That one right there, I really still ain't, figured that one out. So when you ask me who Kryshonna Michelle is, she's definitely all of those things. So I feel like that was just enough trauma to drop on y'all today. So with that being said, is everybody in the room still okay? We're still fine? All right, let's take another deep breath then, because After you drop all that, you got to breathe in again, all right? Ready, set, breathe in. Breathe out. I mean, that was a whole hell of a lot, so let's do it again. Come on, come on, come on. Breathe in. Breathe out. So Kryshonna is just not trauma. Kryshonna Michelle is also that girl, like I said, who ran away from home at 18 with absolutely no family members in this city and went to school at the age of 31. Told y'all I hate school. While her kids were in online school in the middle of a pandemic and created a business. Kryshonna Michelle is also that girl who learned how to trust God and let him handle things even when things go right. Because imagine your brother being murdered and instantly thinking, oh, the killer's going to jail, right? No, not even 30 days. He's at home and you know where he lives. But you're the big stepper, and for the first time in your life, you're trusting God. All right? I'm also Kryshonna Michelle, who did it scared, who did it broke, who did it with no support. I'm Kryshonna Michelle, who married the man of her dreams, who cooks every single night. And just like my girl Westler said, he take care of them kids, even though they ain't his. So y'all all, if you ain't got you one, get you a Southern man, okay? And 70 pounds later, he still love me, baby, like he met me, okay? With that being said, I'm that Kryshonna Michelle. I'm Kryshonna Michelle, who at the end of the day, I broke generational curses. That 19-year-old little girl now is walking into her own career, a licensed cosmetologist, and best of all, y'all, she didn't make me no nana. She has no kids, breaking generational curses. The first woman in our family to not become a teen mom. Mama, we made it. Telling you, because that's an accomplishment. I'm also that 19-year-old girl who looked at her kids and decided I was going to do something different. I was going to parent my kids in a way that I had never seen before. And it's hard for somebody to do something that they've never seen done before, especially when you constantly hear everybody telling you that it needs to be done a certain way. So one day, I was having this conversation with my friend, and she told me, like, when I say my friend, it ain't my regular friend, y'all. This is my best friend. Like, I consider her my top friend. So much so that at her family event, I stood up in front of all her family and her new husband and let them know that I'm her life partner. And we were, if you know us, we battle back and forth. And she told me something what she felt like was really out of love, and she thought she was protecting me from myself. She said, Sean, you gotta stop sharing your story and telling people the things about you. She was like, we gotta bring back shame. She was like, you're only gonna be stuck. She was like, there is a reason why people are licensed professionals who do this. And I sat back, and if you know me, you can't just say nothing to me and I just let it go. Like, that's just never gonna happen. Told you I'm sure the girl's granddaughter, okay? I said, well, if that's true, then what would we be without Dr. Maya Angelou? Or are we not reading a Bible full of other people's stories who were not licensed professionals in order to, understand where we need to go in life? I said, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure about 98% of them did not go to the Historical Bible Institute. But again, I could be wrong. So I was like, okay. She was like, but Sean, you're not Dr. Maya Angelou. You're not those people out the Bible. She was like, you gotta stop. She was like, you're enough. And I said, you're absolutely right. See, what she didn't know is the reason it triggered me so bad was because growing up in my house, we grew up with what happens in this house stays in this house. So imagine growing up knowing that you're the affair baby, knowing that your mother was the 2-time high school teen mom, and you develop all these stories in your head because y'all are not having conversations. That is very detrimental to a teen girl. I absolutely resented my mother because I would see her present herself in this best light in front of everybody else, and then when it came home, it was just something totally different. We never had open and honest conversations like ever in my house. It just wasn't a thing. And then I realized something. One day, I had went to KEC, and I told you I was lost. I was confused. I didn't know what I was doing. I was starting a business. And it was through conversations with people like Catherine Porter and Candace Troutman. Like y'all know, Candace is my shero. If you don't know, now you know. And I was like, man, I'm finding breakthrough, but I'm being open about where I'm at. I'm just telling people I really don't know. And for the first time in my life, I'm being honest about I don't know. It was conversations on the phone with people like Eva, Ashley, Dawn, my closest friends, where we're bearing our souls. And I'm like, oh my goodness, we're having breakthroughs. It's where I was finally able to identify patterns in order to create the changes that I needed in my life. If I wasn't able to be open and I was living in that shame, there would be no way that I can be the Kryshonna Michelle that I knew on the inside that I truly was. It was sitting in classrooms at Let Her Lead, listening to people like Oriel, Shania, all of them giving their stories, that I realized that we are truly blessed because a woman got up here and she was brave enough to be open, honest, and transparent about the thing that people say should bring her shame. At the end of the day, we've been taught, and the internet makes us think that something should just look perfect. We should never, ever show where we hurt. But real change is created in transparency. It is when we are able to unapologetically share our stories and own everything that we are, that we're not able to just help ourselves, we're able to help others. See, growing up, my pastor had the word others over the door. And he wanted us to know that everything that we went through was not by mistake. It is so that we can go out and we can do the work of God and help and heal others. So it wasn't a mistake that my brother was murdered. It wasn't a mistake that I came from as an affair baby. It was through those connections that I've been able to really build my clientele, because now women see me for who I am, not this perfect image. So when they lay in my chair for a simple beauty services to get their eyelashes done, some of these women will never go to therapy. This is the most therapeutic thing that they will ever experience. And traditionally, black women, we do not go to the therapist. You gotta be crazy, baby. We go to our hairdresser. She knows everything, okay? She knows truly how we feel about our kids and our husbands, okay? It was in those moments, though, that I realized that's where true change is created. That's how we are able to do what God called us to do. So when you ask me to live in my shame, I absolutely will not. I am the second born. I will step, because I'm Kryshonna Michelle, baby, not Dr. Maya Angelou. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.